Hi, this is Nahid, and welcome to the second video in our values-based goal setting series. In this video, what we're going to do is talk about three things that drive you. Those are goals, needs, and values. And they relate to each other in a way that's important for you to understand before you set goals. So goals are things that you want to accomplish. They're usually external and you're driven to achieve them. Needs are a little bit deeper and more subconscious. These are the things that are required for you to survive, and you are driven to get your needs met in a very urgent way through your body. An example of that is if you're hungry, you're going to be driven to eat food. If you're tired, you're going to be driven to go to sleep. So the things that we need to survive, we're going to be driven to by the internal forces within our body. Values goes even deeper than that. So this is when all your needs are taken care of and there's nothing urgent that you need in order to survive. Your values are what you're naturally attracted to, the things that make you happy, the things that make you enjoy life. So I want to spend a few minutes talking about needs. Now, in our programs, we spend a lot of time talking about needs because they're very important. In this video, I'm just going to give you a quick overview. The important thing you need to know is that needs are related to our survival, and there are a lot of different types of needs that we're driven to get met, not just the physiological ones such as hunger and thirst, but also things like feeling safe in the world and having relationships, not feeling lonely, feeling connected or part of a tribe, and also the need for autonomy and power, the ability to do the things, have freedom, do the things that you want to do in life. So if you don't have enough of one of these things that you need, you tend to get triggered and feel a sense of urgency inside. And sometimes you substitute one thing for another. So, for example, if you're really lonely and you wish that you were in a long-term relationship, but you don't see any immediate way to make that happen, you might do something else that makes you feel less lonely. And it could be sitting on the couch and watching television because you feel connected to the people in the television series that you're watching. And that's an example of how your need will drive you to do something. Sometimes it feels like it's a little bit out of your control, but your body is trying to get your needs met. And in the example that we gave, because you're trying to connect, your body will try to connect in whatever way is accessible to you. The reason I bring up needs is because when we talk about values, a lot of times our needs get confused with values. So when you do a values exercise, money is a big one. We all need money to survive, and we all need money to feel safe. And sometimes we even need money to kind of enhance our sense of self-esteem or power. So because money is related to a lot of our needs, sometimes when we're doing a value sort, which helps us understand the things that are most important to us, money will come up to the top. Or it could be that love comes up at the top, and it only comes up to the top when we're feeling lonely, but when we're in a good relationship, then it doesn't come up to the top. The thing to understand is that the difference between needs and values is that needs only come up as important when you feel like they're lacking in your life, and values come up as important all the time because they're simply who you are. They're expressions of who you are naturally and what naturally makes life feel good to you. So the thing to keep in mind is that often when you're doing a values exercise, needs will come up in there and you won't know the difference between your needs and your values. But for the purposes of values-based goal setting and doing this type of work, that doesn't matter. What happens is if you choose to do longer term work, then little by little over the long term, you'll be getting your needs met. They will disappear and your values will emerge to the point where you're only governed by your values, not so much by your needs. But that's sort of the advanced growth work that we do in our deeper programs. You can still do great values-based goal setting work by just understanding this concept. So to summarize, goals disappear once they're accomplished. So they're temporary. You have these goals until you accomplish them or until you decide that you don't want to accomplish them. So they disappear when they're either accomplished or abandoned. Needs disappear when they're met. So if you have an urgency inside you driving you to get something that you need to survive, once you've got something like a glass of water, you drink, and now you're not thirsty anymore, then they disappear. But values never disappear because values are your source of happiness and fulfillment. The motivation that you feel with goals and needs and values has a different quality to it. And sometimes people like to pay attention to that so that they can make distinctions between goals, needs, and values. So for a goal, you will typically feel a short-term excitement if it's a goal that you're excited about achieving, or a short-term pressure or anxiety if it's maybe a goal that someone else has imposed on you, but it tends to be short-term, urgent, and externally based. Needs also feel urgent, but they're coming from the inside. And the one thing to understand is it's really what causes that adrenaline-based urgency in you. If you experience any anxiety, that is caused by unmet needs. So that's your body telling you that you need something that you don't have, and it creates anxiety in your body to get you moving to get whatever that thing is that you need. Values is not adrenaline based. Values are kind of a quieter, natural attraction that you have to things based on happiness. And so when you're feeling the joy of values, you're having more feelings that are deeper and higher quality, like feeling alive or feeling at home or feeling a sense of peace or contentment. And that's how values feel. So for example, let's say you love being with your family and you're planning a trip together and you're having these happy feelings as you're planning the trip because you're going to get to be with your family. That's an example of how a value might feel when it's motivating you. So keep in mind that because values reflect what's most important to us, if we can ground our goals in our values, you are going to experience joy and happiness as we're going through the process of achieving our goals. And what more could you possibly want other than joy and happiness as you're working through your day? In our next video, we're going to dive in and help you identify some of your core values. Look forward to seeing you then.